Ladies and gentlemen, what's up? It's your boy Nar here. Before we get started with today's brand new episode of the Young Bulls podcast, I want you guys to go check out this clothing apparel company called Solitary Faith Apparel. Solitary Faith Apparel is an apparel company my man Manny did. Shout out Manny, he went to high school. I went to high school with him, but he's doing his thing, and you guys a lot of good pieces on there, a lot of shirts and shorts, and it's a legit site. It's not one of those. It's not one of those scam things. So make sure you guys go check it out. Solitary Faith. There's a lot of good options to choose from, and there's a lot more stuff on the way. So make sure you guys go check that out. Make sure you guys go check out the website, and make sure you guys go check out the IG to follow them on IG at Solitary Faith Clothing, so you guys will be in the loop when there's more pieces and more articles that are dropping soon. Because I'm telling you right now, this is the beginning. It's only the beginning. There's more stuff on the way. I know I'm going to cop something, so make sure I want you guys to cop something too. Look fly as well. So make sure you guys go check out Solitary Faith Clothing. Tell them the Young Bulls Pod sent you. And with Solitary Faith Apparel, with faith comes solitude. So make sure I go check it out. Shout out my boy Manny for doing this thing. Enjoy the episode. Peace.
Bro, Chris Paul has better handles than AI.
Ladies and gentlemen, man, welcome back. Brand new episode here, the Young Bulls Podcast. Not even an episode, it's just our Monday wrap up. But it's your boy Denari here. Here with the Eagles correspondent, Philly correspondent, Jamal.
Yes, sir.
It's gonna be a new thing that we do. It's gonna be a new thing that we do, man. Just every Sunday or every, the following week after, football and everything, we're gonna have somebody come on and talk about sports, specifically the Eagles. Obviously, if you remember last week's little clip that went a little bit viral, whatever, I said that if the Saints lost to Philly on Sunday, that I would have come here wearing an Eagles jersey for a day. And if you saw me around campus today, you saw that I had an Eagles jersey on. It was not fun. I only had 2 classes today, and it felt like the longest 2 classes that I've had to deal with. It was absolutely terrible. But Jamal, how was your weekend, man? How was your weekend?
Hey man, I would like to say you're welcome for that. I had a really at first for the first 3 quarters it was very stressful, but then you know what I'm saying, I had a really good weekend towards the end of it. Dallas lost, the 49ers lost, the Eagles won, the Saints lost. I mean, I had a really good time. I had a really good time.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, it was. I will say it was funny. Like I said before, I said this on like my notes or whatever, but I was like, this was like a real fun experience, man. Being able to do this, it was it was like a very like cool, friendly wager. I would definitely do this again. I'll definitely do it again, but it felt good that just see people like being like, oh, where's your jersey? Make sure you put on the jersey and everything like that. So I thought I got a good kick out of it. I enjoyed it. It was cool. Obviously, not the result I wanted because if the Saints would have won, Jamal would have been sitting here bald today, as well as wearing a Saints jersey, which is just crazy work on its own.
Tell him what you mean by me being bald. Tell him what happened.
No, literally, like the thing was, I said that Hurst was going to throw 3 interceptions. He was like, "Oh, that's not going to happen." So I was like, "All right, cool. If he throws 3 interceptions, you got to cut the dreads off. Shave the Jones off, or whatever." And he was like, he's like, "Oh, bet." I'm like, that's crazy confidence considering the fact that like he threw 1 pick. He had 1 pick on Sunday, but he still threw for over like 300 yards. So all in all, not really a bad game from him. But I will say though that this win, in my eyes, I feel like it's not convincing enough. Like, I mean, I feel like you guys were supposed to beat us, but you guys looked rough for like the first 3 quarters. So
Yeah, listen.
yeah, go ahead.
You said Hurts had a good game. He had good like yards, but I mean, I don't want to see more from him. I want to see less. And what I mean by that is I want him to stop doing too much. I want him to stop going for broke. I mean, he's making really terrible reads. He's making really bad throws. Like he's stressing me out, man. Like if I don't cut the dreads off for a bet, they're gonna fall off because it hurts. I mean, watching this Eagles team, it's hurting my heart. Like it's hurting my soul, bro. Like Hurts is throwing interceptions. He's fumbling, but we came out. We like you said. I'll agree. We were supposed to win this game. Way easier than
I will say all that. I didn't say all that, but like I will say that y'all should have won this more convincingly. I thought it was gonna be more of a shootout, but I will say though, because this was the biggest thing last week as well, was when it came to Sirianni. He almost coached you guys into another loss, man. Sirianni,
bro.
Yeah,
I don't know,
Sirianni.
Nick. I don't know what's up
Yeah,
with him.
Sirianni. I said this at after last week's game against the Falcons, but um, I really feel like with Sirianni that he's still in the hot seat, man. There's a lot of pressure on him this season because he has, like I said before, he has all these pieces. If he can't perform, can't do what he needs to do for the team, they're gonna get him out of Philly. Philly, you gotta understand. Philly is, if your team is doing good, you're in a win now mode. And hey, we don't got Philly.
You just said Philly, so I had to. But
Yeah, yeah. But they're in a win now mode. When you're in a win now mode, you're trying to maximize as much as people's primes as you can because you know that championship window is going to eventually slow up. Look at the Eagles for the past 3 seasons, Jamal. They went undefeated for the first 10 games of the season, lost a couple, went to the Super Bowl, lost. Last year, same thing, lost to the 49ers, couldn't hit their stride, and then lost rest of the season, and then lost to the Buccaneers in the playoffs. This year,
in our last, like I said, in our last 10 games, our record is not it's not a positive record, bro. Like, I don't know exactly what it is, but in our last 10 games, we don't have a great record, especially against teams over 500. So, this is not the same team we were in 2022 when we went to the Super Bowl, where we were steamrolling the entire division. Like, I don't know ever since that 49ers loss, we just haven't been the same. It was the first time that we generally been outplayed by a team, and we lost to the Jets, the Cardinals. I mean, I don't even want to talk about that season, bro. But yeah, and in this game, our defense wasn't the issue. For the last year of the Eagles' defense has been a problem. Our pass rush was always going to be good, but now
Right.
this year our pass rush is bad, and our defense, we gotta talk about Gardner Johnson, bro. We have to talk about Gardner Johnson.
No,
Because
yeah.
he was
Also,
out there
too,
talking
yeah,
like
because I'm tight.
you got him talking like he's Dawkins, bro. He thinks he's the GOAT. I don't know what's up
Bro,
with him, bro. I don't.
Jamal, because you gotta understand, bro. From my perspective, I'm tight, bro. Like he was talking about they're not contenders, they're pretenders. Olave cooked you yesterday. He had 3 receptions for 87 yards. I mean, yeah, I mean he's below 100, but come on, he scored a touchdown on you. He's talking about it's Derek Carr in the backfield. Derek Carr, we had 44 points in weeks 1 and week 2. Like we're not a bad team. We just played bad. Yeah, we're not a bad team.
Like the thing with Gardner Johnson is you would think he's like Darrelle Revis. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I don't want to bring this up. Because Philly fans are crazy, but bro, CJ Gardner-Johnson literally got his car stolen by an Eagles fan because he played so bad, bro. Let's not forget.
I swear, bro. This is the thing that I hate about the Eagles, bro. I've always hated this about the Eagles ever since I was little, bro. But the thing about the Eagles fans, bro, is that y'all passionate. Y'all really passionate. But y'all confuse passion with delusion sometimes, man. And it just makes me mad just seeing this. Y'all be like, oh, go Birds, all this stuff, right? Then y'all be like, we're going to the bowl. We're the best team in here. And it's like, bro, y'all making me angry, bro. Y'all making me angry, bro. Like, I wore that Michael Vick jersey today. You said what? You said what, bro?
Oh, it's so funny when you say this wearing an Eagles jersey, bro. You're hating on the Eagles with an Eagles jersey on. I'm dying.
Bro, look. You gotta understand, bro. I was wearing the Vic jersey today. Don't get me wrong. I rock with Mike Vick. Mike Vick was cold. He's still cold. But come on, bro. I would take wearing a Falcons Mike Vick jersey over wearing this one, bro. Come on, bro. It just, I had to put it on today, bro. I was like, dude, I literally left out my crib today. Shout out my boy Raleigh, bro. But I left out my crib today, right? Dude met me outside the apartment. He's like, hey, man, hope you had a good Sunday. Here's the Eagles jersey. It just dipped. Just left. I literally put the jersey on, bro. Had to walk to class. First class, I told you earlier, bro. The teacher was like, yeah, man, I hope, you guys had a good weekend. He gave us an Eagles themed problem, whatever. And he was like, yeah, it looks like I hope you guys saw the game. We got one Eagles fan in here. I was like, wow. I couldn't even say nothing, bro. I was like, yeah, I am wearing a jersey.
The Eagles are such a big deal in Philly. I love this city so much, bro. I really do. But listen, I just don't know. This team, it stresses me out. Listen, Denari's sitting here. He's rubbing his forehead. He's stressed too. I'm not gonna lie. But no, the Saints have such a great upside, though. You guys are a really good team. I mean, I don't know how our defense held you to 12 points. I'd be concerned about that because our defense is not good. But
It
other
was
than that,
Jalen Carter, man. Jalen Carter had a huge imprint on that game. Jalen Carter, like I said to you earlier, Jalen Carter saved you guys yesterday, man, on defense. And Zach Bond, too. Zach Bond was doing his thing. But Jalen Carter most definitely was playing his best ball yesterday.
he's very girthy. Like he takes up two offensive linemen. You know, like his girth and his size and his length is just very impressive.
Yeah, the front seven was doing a good job rushing. Eric McCoy from the Saints, he got injured yesterday. So that kind of put us into a loop. Um, Yeah,
God,
even
man.
with you guys down Devontae Smith and AJ Brown and stuff, you guys still somehow found a way to play good because our three linemen on 3rd and 16 decided to run into each other, which seeing that live,
Oh nah.
you know what's crazy too? Like literally
That
right after the,
oh oh my God.
literally like right after the game too, bro. The thing that's crazy about it was that like immediately my phone I started getting tons of messages. Put that jersey on, Denori. Fly
Really?
Eagles fly. Yeah, you saying really? You spam text me like right after the game ended, bro. He was like, I told you, boy, go birds, go
No, I had to
birds.
wait till the game was over though. I had to wait till the game was over. I wanted to text you when the pick was thrown. When Derek Carr threw that pick, he turned into the bull from Toy Story and he threw us the ball. I wanted to text you right there, but you know, you know what I'm saying? I wanted to text you after the touchdown. I had to wait. I had my phone ready this whole game, bro.
He was like, go birds, go birds, go this, go that. And it's like, come on, bro. Like, like let me
When
breathe,
you have a
bro.
bet, like the game means so much more. Like this
It
is week
does.
3. It's week
It
3, and
does.
it felt like I won the Super Bowl when we have
That
a
felt
bet.
like a playoff game yesterday
Yeah, like
for
if it was
intensive
something great,
purposes. The way
100%.
me and
I gotta
Jamal were
do this
hyping
with like
that
my Steelers.
I'm not gonna lie, like I was saying, like even last week too, like even when we made the wager, like it felt like leading up to it, like it felt like a nice little. It felt like a lot more interesting to watch football yesterday with that thing going on with that little stipulation, because that made the game like really interesting. Like I was tuned in the whole time, so like I said, it was really fun. So what's y'all winning yesterday, man, against the Saints? Like how you feeling about the rest of the season, especially who y'all got next week and everything like that?
So I don't like what I saw yesterday, man. Smitty got hurt bad. Like I really feel like I really hope he recovers. He's gonna
Yeah,
be
I'm
out.
not gonna lie. Looking back on it, I saw the replay. That was a dirty hit. I
That's a
did not.
dirty hit, bro.
Yeah,
Like people in the comments, the OGs in the comments, are like, oh man, these hits are regular back in our day. Listen, man, brain damage is not a flex. I mean,
yeah.
when your guy
He
is
got hit.
on the floor, how is that like? How is it soft when he's
He got hit. Yeah, he got hit right in the back. If you didn't see the hit yesterday, basically what happened was Devontae Smith, he had the ball, he caught it, and they like wrapped him up, and they were pushing him back. So then the ref blew the whistle, and then just out of nowhere, dude from the Saints came and like hit him from behind, whatever, and like the top of like the neck area, something like that. But he was on the ground. He was concussed. Like he looked
Yeah,
mad and everything too. He was able to walk off and everything, but it was a scary sight for sure. So, it was something where, somebody could have really gotten hurt. And low key, I feel like that was a turning point in the Eagles game because up until that point, I don't think they scored a touchdown or did anything yet.
we weren't bro. The fact that the game was 0-3 for so long when your team had the most points by far. Your team had the most points. I saw a graphic. Your team had 91 points going into week 3 or something like that.
Yeah,
I believe that's accurate. So,
yeah,
like, for you guys to have 3 points in 3 and 4 quarters, and like the fact that it's still a game, it's like our defense really played our butts off, but our offense was still lackluster. Saquon can only give you so much, but I mean, he clutched.
Saquon. I said Carter saved y'all too. Saquon definitely did this thing for you guys
He was the
yesterday.
reason we were in the game, man.
I'm pretty sure he had like 130,
He had
150
a
yards.
lot. Like I
A
think
lot of
Dallas
yards.
Goedert had like 140.
Yeah, Goddard played a real good game for
He
you guys
gave y'all
yesterday.
work, bro. But
Yeah.
like you said, to answer your question, these next couple games, I I don't know. I mean, we need layups, bro. We need Carolina. We at this point we need bums.
Can you pull up the rest of
Until
your
we get we
schedule?
need it. Yeah, pull up if you could pull up our schedule.
For sure.
I'm not confident. I'm not confident at all, man.
You really not confident after yesterday?
No, like too many injuries. Slay's probably gonna be out.
All right. You guys got the Buccaneers next Sunday. You got Cleveland. I'm just going to say our next 4 games. So y'all got the Buccaneers next Sunday. Y'all got Cleveland after that, New York, and then Cincinnati.
Oh, okay. Those are layups. Cincinnati. And right now, as we record this 10:46 on Monday, Cincinnati's getting blown out by Washington. So
I'm sorry?
yeah, like let me see. Bengals score. It was 28-10.
What? For real?
Yeah, what is it right now? Could you check? It was
38
like
to 26.
yes, bro. Washington is good. Washington is good. Their quarterback is
Wow.
good. Yo, do some when we stop recording, do some research on that Washington quarterback. He's good. He's a
Jaden Daniels is nice. No, I've been tapped into Jaden Daniels.
you're tapped in? All right, yeah.
Yeah, I've been
So
tapped into Jaden Daniels since he was at LSU. Nah,
he's
he's nice. Wow.
I think we can go 4-0, but it's gonna be sloppy. We might drop one to the Buccaneers, but they just got destroyed by Denver. So I don't know. We could go 4-0, but knowing the Eagles, we're gonna go 0-4. Our season's over. You know what I mean? Like I don't know.
Gosh, man, like y'all definitely not gonna go 0-4, man. Y'all should be fine.
We'll handle New York. We'll handle
Next
New York.
4 games for us, we got the Falcons, the Chiefs, the Bucks, and the Broncos.
Okay, I mean, wow, there's so many bad teams in the league right now. It's crazy.
I
Isn't
feel
that
like
crazy?
we could definitely win. Either we go 2-2, or 2-2, or 3-1.
The Saints from the first 2 weeks are going 4-0. I'm telling you right now, the Chiefs are not that. Listen, mark my words, the Chiefs are not good. When I'm watching them, I'm not impressed. They're not good. They're 3-0, but they could easily be 1-2 right now. 100%.
That is true.
Whereas a
That is
good team
true.
like the Ravens are 1-2, but they could be 3-0. But the Chiefs had one good game, like they played good against the Ravens, but they should have lost. If you watched that game, you saw it went down to the wire. They should have
Right.
lost. Lamar blundered. It's fine. I think the Chiefs are the most overrated team in football right now.
Really?
100%. Yeah, I'm not impressed when I watch them play.
I got you. I
But
got you. I feel like
Mahomes is not
a
top five
team.
this season, bro.
My fault. I feel like a team that's already being a disappointment for me this season is, let's really call it what it is, the Cowboys, man. You gave Dak the extension. I know as an Eagles fan, I know you're praying on
Yeah,
this.
I love that.
Yeah. But real disappointing team for me this year has been the Cowboys, man. Obviously you just gave Dak an extension. You just gave CD all that money. They held out and all this stuff. Only for you guys to be 1-2. And let's call it what it is. Yesterday's game was a lot closer than is advertised. Like they came back during garbage time last week. Like this week. So
That's what Dak does. That's what Dak does. When there's no pressure applied, Dak performs. I'll give him that. Dak is a mediocre quarterback, but like when there's no pressure on him at all, he's pretty good. Like he makes good reads. So when you're down 28-6, there's nothing to lose, and that's when Dak is the best. So the Ravens are notorious for blowing leads, but I'm glad they pulled out. I'm glad they pulled it out. I'm glad they pulled it out last night. But another team, the Bengals, bro. The Bengals are really struggling, man. Like Joe Burrow, I think is also one of the most overrated quarterbacks in the league too. Like he has all these nicknames, Joe Cool, Joe Shiesty, all this media coverage, but he's not that good.
I saw like a lot of stuff about, I was looking at Speak for Yourself. It's like a show on FS1, whatever. And they were saying how like the same sort of disrespect we give to, Josh Allen for not getting past, Mahomes and stuff. We need to give that same sort of thing to Joe Burrow and stuff too. Because you look at Burrow. Burrow went to his 4th season in the league. He went to the Bowl. He tore his ACL. Following year, he went to the Bowl. Following year, he lost in the playoffs. Then he missed the playoffs, and now he's about to be on the verge of being 1-2. So it's a whole thing. And then you had
I don't think the Bengals won this season. I don't think the Bengals won this season.
They have not? Hold on, let me see.
I think they're about to be 0-3 after tonight if they lose to Washington.
My bad. The Bengals are about to be 0-3. The Bengals are about to be 0-3.
Joe Burrow is notoriously bad in like August, September. Like if you remember when they went to the Super Bowl, they started off pretty bad. So like he's known for that, but I mean that team is just not great. Like so if we're talking about like disappointing teams, I definitely want to put Cincinnati on there. I don't want to put Dallas on there because Dallas sucks and they've always sucked. But
I gotta put Dallas. Honestly, for me though, I gotta put Dallas on there because you make all these, like I said, you make all these moves in the offseason. You don't offer Derrick Henry any money to come play for your team. Jared Jones comes out and says that he couldn't afford him. My brother, you play in one of the most $1 billion stadium, and you're telling me you couldn't open up your wallet a little bit more for Derrick Henry, one of the best running backs still in the league. Like, you let him go to Baltimore,
How do you
which,
let
by the way,
Baltimore,
hmm?
bro? How do you let Derrick Henry go to Baltimore, bro?
Which,
I
by the way, Derrick Henry also torched you guys yesterday as well in Dallas. Let's like not forget, like he stiffed armed one of your mans into the pavement. He dribbled him off the ground.
oh my.
But yeah, so for Dallas, every year, so with Cowboys fans, it's our year. We're going to the bowl. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. And it's like cool. I've been hearing this since I was like in like middle school. It's no performance. When are we going to look at Dak and we're going to look at the coaching? Like this is year 4 of Mike McCarthy. This is year 4 of Mike McCarthy. I'm pretty sure, or year 5, either 4 or 5 of Mike McCarthy. And there's nothing to show for it. They're still in the second, still losing the divisional. They're not getting to the championship game. They have a great regular season at home, but they can't do anything in the playoffs. So
Love in the playoffs.
and it's like yeah, like last year, for example. Last year, I'm pretty sure they finished like 12-4 or something, and they're losing. They're getting blown out at home by the Packers, who Jordan Love. This was his first playoff start. So
Yeah.
it's like I said, it's like, when are we going to look at the Cowboys and say to ourselves, like, you know what? Let's call it what it is. Dak's not the guy that can get us there. Dak was good for the first 2 seasons, whatever, when he first came in and everything like that. Since then, he's been a major decline. Bringing back Ezekiel Elliott, I don't know if that was really a good idea in retrospect. It's not 2016 anymore. Let's call it what it is.
He hasn't been good for a long time, bro.
Yes, drafting Deuce Vaughn. Y'all not giving him that many touches. CD and Jake Ferguson are your only bright spots on offense. Everybody else are a bunch of nobodies. Like, no, because I'm actually about to rant about Dallas real quick, man.
Free CD, bro. Free CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb is my favorite player on my least favorite team.
Micah Parsons is probably one of the best bright spots on defense.
Bro, Micah Parsons is going to ruin
overrated.
Parsons is going to ruin that team. Once he gets that contract extension, they're not going to be able to re-sign anyone. They're going to be in cap. You know what I mean? They're going to be in cap space. Like
they're not going to be able to do anything, man. And it's like you got all these players who are saying they want this, they're franchise tagging this, and they want a better contract. They want more money and all this stuff, but there's nothing to show for it on the field. We do literally, like with Prescott. The whole thing about Prescott, I'm pretty sure he was holding out or something. Correct? Was he holding out? He was holding out, right? Holding out. He finished maybe 4th or 5th in MVP last season. Let's see, a couple of Pro Bowls here and there, but they still haven't gotten a bowl yet. When are we going to look at the Cowboys and say to ourselves, yo, we're giving you everything we possibly have. We gave you Amari Cooper, you couldn't win. You had Dez Bryant, and you had a solid receiving core at one point in time. Like, let's call it what it is. Come on, man. Yeah, I'm saying, but let's not forget, those boys had Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb at one point in time.
Yeah, man.
And they cannot do anything with that.
Don't forget about Pollard. Remember when
Pollard? Yes, they had Pollard at one point in time. They had a lot of good players at one point in time.
They had by far the best defense in football. They had Micah Parsons, Trayvon Diggs had 11 interceptions or 8 or like 10? Something ridiculous like that. I mean, they had an amazing defense. They had a great special teams unit. And they pooped on themselves. I remember this year. This was the year that Brock Purdy was like Mr. Irrelevant, and he beat them in the playoffs. Or was it Garoppolo? I don't remember. It was when Dak slid, and then they ran out of time. I can't remember which quarterback.
Oh yeah, that was Garoppolo. That was Garoppolo.
Oh, my fault. Yeah, you're right. It was Garoppolo.
It's you look at the Cowboys years and all the years and everything. It's the same thing. It's like, oh, Dallas is doing this in the regular season. Can they be favorites? Let's not look at Dallas until we see them in the playoffs, man. Because every single year, we always look at Dallas when they're beating teams at home and they're beating teams. And it's like, oh, are they favored to win it this year? Let's wait till the playoffs until we really assess Dallas, man, and what they're trying to do. Because with Dallas, like we say, every single season, it's the same thing. Y'all lose a game that y'all shouldn't lose to, y'all get ridiculed. Y'all win a game that y'all honestly should have won, and then it's like, are they back? And then it's like, we see them in the playoffs, and it's like, no, they're not. So it's like, at this point, what do we do?
They beat up on bad teams. Like you just saw it the other day when Dak was beating up on the Ravens after they were already down 57,000 points. Like, when it doesn't matter, that's when they perform. And listen. We're talking about the disappointing teams. On the bright side, this season, there's a lot of good teams so far. We're on week 4 right now. We're about to be at week 4.
Hey, shout out Sam Darnold.
There's a lot of surprising great teams.
Shout out Sam Darnold. Shout out Sam Darnold. I'm happy he was able to turn it around, man. Vikings are 3-0 right now. They just beat one of the best teams in the AFC, the Texans. Shout out Sam Darnold, man. And they beat him convincingly
Like
too.
obviously score wise it wasn't a great game, but I mean the Vikings. Name one team that's been through more than the Vikings this offseason, bro. One of their players passed away. You know, their quarterback gets traded. They don't have
Right.
anybody. They get Sam Darnold.
Look,
People are like, oh my God, don't pick
McCarthy
up Justin
yeah.
Jefferson.
And also too, McCarthy, their quarterback, played for Michigan towards ACL, so he was supposed to be the starter. So then they picked up Darnold, like you said, and Darnold these first 3 games have been amazing for them, and he's been doing his thing. And it's looking like the quarterback that he should look like couple years back.
It's white boy summer, bro. I'm not gonna lie, it's really white boy summer, bro. It's white boy summer. We got Baker Mayfield cooking. We got Sam Darnold cooking. Andy Dalton is cooked. Josh Allen is cooking right now. Yo, bro, Denari, live on the podcast. Google the score to the Bills game right now. I want your live reaction. Oh, you saw it already?
No, I saw some of it at the gym, but that was like over like an hour ago. It was at half. It was like 34-3.
Josh Allen's MVP right now.
My God, 47-10.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yep. 47.
Oh my God.
Josh Allen's MVP right now. It's really, bro. I'm not gonna lie. The quarterbacks are not. And listen, I want to pick 2 teams for my most surprising. I want to pick Pittsburgh, and I want to pick I gotta go Minnesota, bro. I gotta go Minnesota. Pittsburgh and Minnesota, bro. Pittsburgh. Fields. I'm so happy for him. I'm so happy for Justin Fields.
For me, my 2 most surprising teams right now, teams I'm happy for. I'll say Minnesota, obviously, because I don't think anybody expected Minnesota to be playing like this. And my other team that I would say, I said an NFC team, so I'll say an AFC team. Trying to think. No one's really talking about the Chargers like that.
They're 3-0, right?
They're 2-1. They lost yesterday, but no one's really talking about the Chargers like that. The Chargers are.
Nobody's talking about Seattle. Nobody's talking about Seattle.
Yeah, no one is talking about Seattle too. Seattle too. Seattle has a new coach and everything, and they're still looking like the same.
No more Carroll?
Yeah, Carroll retired after last season. But yeah, he's like the president. Like he's like a football operations dude now. But now they got a whole new coach there, and yeah, it's still the same Seattle team that and they're gonna be a force too. So shout out to the boys in Seattle and everything like that. Trying to think what else. Let's see. But yeah, definitely the Chargers because Harbaugh, being the coach there, everything like that.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's just really impressive for the Chargers because no one's really showing them love like that. So, shout out to them. Trying to think anything else from what I liked from football yesterday.
I kind of feel bad for Bryce Young, bro.
I do too. Me and my friend were talking about it today in class. It's like, look, it's not Bryce Young's fault that he's benched. Okay, Bryce Young is one of the most talented quarterbacks in his draft class. Bryce Young has the misfortune of playing under a really terrible O-line and a really terrible team. It's not even just the O-line. It's the team. The coaching, he's had to endure a lot of terrible coaching. He's had to endure Matt Rule. He has had to endure this new coach. I don't even know who the new coach name is. But the whole makeup playing there is terrible, man. Like, it's bad. Like,
I want him in Miami. I want him in Miami right now.
I don't think that's gonna happen. But I will,
bro. But
I will say though that like a thing that like really bothered me about like the Bryce Young thing about benching him is like I said, like you give him. I'm not trying to say this to be on a bad note, but like you give him like Adam Thielen as one of his like top receivers to throw to, and you give him other people, and it's like you can't expect him to operate with that, especially when he's not even getting time to throw. He's having to drop back 2 steps, and then before you know it, a defensive tackle is right there to meet him, and it's like he doesn't have time to throw. You see what happens?
He's too new in the league to not have this time to throw, bro. Like, and no disrespect, Bryce Young, he can't see over his linemen. He just can't. So like,
But if you look at Bryce Young when he was at Bama, right? You look at Bryce Young when he was at Alabama. Totally different dude. When he had time, he was able to make plays. He's able to throw the ball. He was able to do exactly what he needed to do to help his team win. But people, you saying that you go to Andy Dalton and stuff, which I'm like, I like, that's because Tom Brady said something about this too. Tom Brady was like, when it comes to like the NFL, you have teams that draft rookie quarterbacks and they try to rush them to start. Do you feel like the Panthers low key messed up by benching him more, or instead of just giving him time to get ready to start? Because you see in some cases you got quarterbacks who they'll be in the league, they get to look, they'll be like the second string, whatever. They'll get to look at the person in front of them, they
Jordan
take
Love.
notes, learn a lot of stuff. Yeah, Jordan Love, right? You saw with Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers, obviously. Yeah, Dak Prescott with Tony Romo and stuff. So like you see quarterbacks, they look out there first, the first string, whatever. Take notes, they learn from them, and then when it's finally their time to shine, they get to go out and blossom. Do you think the Panthers low key messed that up? Do you think the Panthers low key messed that up?
Who would be in front of him? I don't remember. I don't remember who was their quarterback before.
Honestly, this is where I think the Panthers really messed up. If I was the Panthers, a couple years back, you remember the Panthers had Baker Mayfield at one point.
They did have Baker.
At one point, the Panthers were probably one of the best teams in the division for like a week. They're like they were ahead of us. The Panthers messed up by getting rid of Baker Mayfield and having him go to the Rams. The Panthers would have kept Mayfield and Bryce Young would have been able to learn behind Mayfield. Knowing how Mayfield turned out now, Bryce Young wouldn't have been in a bad spot. That's not a dig with Dalton. That's not a dig with Dalton because when Dalton was in his prime, Dalton was a solid quarterback for the Bengals and things like
He
that.
was playing the best defenses ever.
Yeah,
bro.
but
he
it's
was
like
prime Ravens, prime Steelers, and he was playing them twice a year. So Dalton's not a bum.
But it's like you don't do that to the quarterback that you specifically drafted, man. Like you get what I'm saying? Like you don't do that. That's like saying that you're going from Daniel Jones. No, you're going from Daniel Jones to Shedeur Sanders, right? And you give Shedeur Sanders a starting job on his first first game, whatever, instead of giving it to a guy that you just gave an extension to. And then you surprised that he goes out there and messes up. You can't give somebody the keys and then take it away like that. And then it's based off of
me, bro. Because listen, this happened to Jalen Hurts. I don't know how much you know about college, but if you recall,
with Tua, yeah.
Oh, he got benched for Tua, not Matt Jones. He got benched for Tua, and I don't know how badly that affected Hurts because Hurts never says he never speaks English in his podcast, in his interviews. He just yaps. But if you recall, do you remember when Tua was about to get traded for Brady? Do you remember that? Do you remember when Tua was in the league and when he was in Miami, his first couple years when he was struggling before they got Mike McDaniels, his head coach hated him and wanted him.
Oh yeah, Brian Flores. Yep, I remember that. Yep.
Yeah, and then Tua got a new coach. Tua's new coach praised him, and he has a breakout year when they get Tyreek Hill.
Right.
I think it messes with the comp. If you remember, what's that dude's name? Zach Wilson. When Zach Wilson was playing and they kept benching him for that one dude what's his name?
Heinicke?
The one quarterback.
No. I know what you're talking about.
The dude that kept running it all the time. I don't remember. But they kept
for the Jets?
Yeah, the Jets. It was their backup quarterback and he won the game. What'd you say?
Was it his name Mike White or something like that? Or it was
Oh yeah, it was Mike White. I remember.
Yeah.
And they said and remember when they benched Max Jones for Bailey Zappi. You can't do that to your young quarterback. It messes with their confidence.
Yeah,
and you can't without confidence.
It messes with their confidence, and then also you gotta realize too, it's not only do it messes up their progression and their just their growth as a player, but it forces them to decide whether it's is it me? Am I the reason that I'm not getting benched, or is it the team? Because like I said, if you got an ownership group that doesn't really care, that doesn't really show that they're trying to help you out, that doesn't really put in the right people that can help you get to where you need to be, then you're not going to win games. You see what the Commanders have done? The Commanders have done a complete overhaul from what they were years back. I remember years back, they had their best quarterback was Heinicke, bro. Taylor Heineke, he came in.
man.
Yeah, Heineke came in, everything like that. Ron Rivera was the coach. It was bad. Heineke left, everything like that. They got rid of him. They got rid of the coach. They got a new team. They got a new culture. All that stuff,
New
and now they're
culture
winning
is so
games.
important. Like, not only were they the worst team, they were the worst franchise. They had the worst, like, their stadium was flooding sewage. It was
Yeah.
just horrible for the league. That the Commanders were a thing. Their logo is the worst. Their everything, and they got this new quarterback. Man, I'm obsessed with watching this. Like, you could look up. Like, I know we weren't able to watch the game, but really look up the highlights. Like, he's really been throwing some dimes out there.
I
They're
got
letting
you.
their young quarterback have fun, and I understand that Bryce Young had a year to himself to have fun, do whatever he needed to do. But you gotta build, bro. You can't just let his O line be this bad. A young quarterback that has no weapons and no offensive line. They got Miles Sanders. I mean, listen, I love Miles Sanders as an Eagles fan, but he's not cutting it. They're like, I don't know what to do. I want him in Miami. I want
To
him.
put
I
it
want them to
to
trade him.
to put it in a better way too, when you look at the Eagles, man, not the Eagles. When you look at like the Panthers, remember a couple years ago they had Cam Newton. He did a couple of snaps and stuff like that.
Yep.
Where I think the Panthers also messed up too was that if you weren't going to let Cam Newton start or play anymore, you should have definitely let him be closer to the organization instead of just releasing him like that after a couple of games. Because by doing that, not only are you allow him to take part in the process of developing players and stuff, but he's probably one of the two
Yeah.
quarterbacks in your franchise's history that has taken the Panthers to a Super Bowl, like taking them to the bowl. We're not worried about what he did at the game, but like what he did leading up to it. He was an MVP, and you're telling me that the Panthers themselves don't have any sort of way to have him help develop players and stuff like that?
Right.
The
They did that
same
with
way,
Steve Smith.
dude, the same way that, you see players like Ray Lewis, you see his connection to Baltimore and stuff like that. You see, like, with players like Brian Dawkins' connection to the Eagles. You can even say the same thing with Nick Foles and stuff like that. Just people coming back, giving back. The reason the Panthers, the whole culture is so messed up there in Carolina, where it's like people who were once associated with the team, they don't even know if they want to come back and show love because the ownership doesn't want to show love.
Yeah.
Panthers have gone to the Panthers. I'm generally asking myself, was the last time the Panthers went to the playoffs was with Cam? Yes. Cam Newton was on the Panthers. Put this in more perspective. I'm pretty sure the last time the Panthers went to the playoffs was 2017.
Because they went to that Super Bowl in 2015, right?
Let me Google.
Yeah, you gotta fact check. You don't get, you don't be putting wrong information out. But you're right.
Yeah.
You can't disrespect
Yep.
the Legends, bro.
Panthers'
And
last recorded playoff appearance was 2017 when they lost to the Saints in the wild card. That was the last time they went to the playoffs.
so you
That was
just
the
want
last time.
out there. You just want to mention that the Saints.
No. I swear. This is the
Nah.
last time they went to the playoffs, man. It's been 7 years since the Panthers have gone to the playoffs. It's been
That's a bad drought. That's a bad drought.
It's not good, man. It's not. And then after a while, it's like when teams are tanking, another thing too, when teams are tanking, you're supposed to tank for a period of time to get, but you're supposed to also develop too. You're not supposed to keep tanking and not having, like any sort of receipts back with that at all. Like that's
You're
bad.
right, bro. Like, what do they have to show for those 7 years?
Nothing.
7 years of developing, and Andy Dalton is starting. What are we doing? Well, not we. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I would never be
Not my problem, Carolina.
Anybody who's a Panthers fan, man, I feel for you. My man, I think my man's Drew. Yeah, my man's Drew back in Richmond. He's a Panthers fan. Pray for you, brother.
Shout out to him, man.
Yeah,
Hey,
shout out.
listen.
You're showing
What
to
was
me.
his name? Drew?
Yeah.
His name is Drew? Listen.
Mhm.
From Jamal to Drew, man, God gives his toughest battles to his toughest soldiers. So being
Yeah,
a Carolina
you're a
Panthers
soldier, all right. My
fan,
gosh,
stay strong,
man.
keep your head up.
But
Because,
it's like what are we doing?
No.
Like, take the Giants for example. The Giants, after Eli left, they had a couple of seasons where they were bad. Daniel Jones came in. They had a new coach. They made it to the playoffs. Regardless of anything else that they do, they could say that they went to the playoffs. They could say that they found some sort of success or some bright spots with it. The Browns, they went 0-16 one year. They brought Baker Mayfield in. Mayfield took them to the playoffs. So I mean, they're now like they're not a laughing stock of the league anymore. So it's like you look at the Jaguars, even any and every team, man, is finding ways to get there, except for you guys, and it makes absolutely no sense to me, man.
Yeah, if you want to look at a rebuild, you want to look at Detroit. You want to look at, Houston.
Exactly.
Houston and Detroit are like, they're the epitome of just a rebuild.
And you know what's crazy? Before last season, I'm pretty sure the Lions, the last time they went to the playoffs was 2014 or 15
With Stafford, yep.
with Stafford when they lost to Dallas. I'm pretty sure that was the last time they went to the playoffs when they had Calvin Johnson and Pettigrew. You know how long ago that was?
Calvin Johnson is crazy.
I'm pretty sure that was the last time they went to the playoffs, man.
And man, I love that story, but with Carolina, it's a horrible situation to be in, to be honest. Horrible situation. And like in the Raiders is a horrible situation too. What are the Raiders gonna do, bro?
No, because
The Raiders
really,
are horrible.
really, I would say they would be in a worse situation if they didn't just go to the playoffs a couple years back.
Yep.
But honestly, I'll give them a pass because last year they were somehow, some way, a game removed from sneaking into the playoffs. If you remember last year, when they got rid of McDaniel as their coach or whatever, they had Antonio Pierce come in and they went on that little win streak at the end of the season, and they somehow, some way, had a chance heading into the final week of the season to make the playoffs.
Who were they playing last season was it Kansas City they were playing?
Yeah, they were playing Kansas City and they beat them at Arrowhead. I remember that. It was like a signature win for them.
I remember that game, but it was against Kansas City's second string, right? I don't think.
No. Mahomes played because they didn't they didn't clinch it yet. They didn't clinch the division yet.
Oh, really? Okay, I just assumed that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no.
Nah.
For it to be 7 years, listen, like not winning anything or not winning a playoff game or not winning a Super Bowl or going to Super Bowl for 7 years, obviously that's perfectly fine. But not reaching the playoffs, I mean, there's only so many times you can fire a head coach. And that's the thing if we tie this back in with the Eagles, if we're talking about oh my God, Sirianni. How do I forget his name? If we're talking about Sirianni, like teams fire head coaches, like I feel like they fire head coaches a lot faster than they should. But if we're talking about coaches that need to be fired, in my opinion, are coaches that are losing games off their decisions. So we're talking about. Do you remember the dude in the Chargers that kept going for it on fourth down and they kept losing? It was that one Chargers head coach. They had him for a couple of years and they just got rid of him.
Brandon Staley. Yeah.
People like him, where they're just coaching, where they're just making bad decisions, making bad plays. That's when you need to get fired. It's only so much a coach can do when your team is as bad as Carolina.
Factual.
Do you think you should get rid of Sirianni though?
The Eagles?
Yeah.
It really depends on what happens this season. If they don't win the bowl this season, they gotta get rid of him.
It's make or break, bro. Like I feel like
because
yeah,
I generally think that Sirianni, ever since he came in, bro, I've hated him. Especially after that the divisional game, bro, when he was in the camera. If you remember, there's like a clip of him when he's looking at the camera and he was like nodding his head and stuff like that. He made me so.
That's Philly.
No.
I feel like everyone that's outside of Philly hates Sirianni.
I feel like Philly fans hate him too. I mean,
now they do definitely, but I remember when he first got here, we loved him.
Oh yeah. Because I feel like he embodied your culture and stuff like that, and
exactly. He fits perfectly in Philly. I feel like.
Yeah, I feel like he
It's just if we go back to last week in Atlanta, he was making horrible decisions then. I don't remember exactly what he did. I remember yesterday when we didn't go for that field goal with 12 seconds left in the second quarter. We have no points on the board. We're in your red zone. And we go for it on fourth. Was it 4th and 1 that we went for it?
4th and 1. Y'all did the same thing again twice this week. That's why I'm saying even more. It's like y'all should have lost that game.
Our play calling needs to get better. Like we're not going to beat. Listen, it's a next man up league, so our injuries are normal. Every team is hurt. It's football, but we're not going to win a team with that disadvantage and bad play calling. We're not.
Yeah.
I
got you. But yeah. Anything else you want to say about just football in general from yesterday? What you like, dislike? Anything else from any other teams?
I want Jordan Love back. I feel terrible.
Also too. Before we go any further, a team that I feel like needs to definitely like reshape what they're doing is the Tennessee Titans. Will Levis is not sure. Will Levis is absolutely terrible, man. Absolutely terrible. Oh my gosh.
I love Will Levis. I love Will Levis, bro. I
No,
mean,
it's absolutely terrible, man. I don't.
name something better than scrolling IG reels and it's just Will Levis memes
Yeah,
of his
it's just every week it's like a new meme. We had the thing where he was like this. We had the thing where he was trying to dive on the ground. He
I
was
was like,
tossed it.
he's
Yeah,
horizontal. Like, how is he perfectly horizontal throwing the?
yeah. We had like it's.
Oh my god.
I feel like Will Levis is like a kid. Like you trying to like diminish the mess. You only making it worse, man. I don't
Yeah, I
understand
mean,
what they're doing. I also feel like
he's
it's a
doing
really
too much.
big.
He is.
It's a
As
real big disservice to DeAndre Hopkins too, because I know DeAndre Hopkins being at the age he's at, he's like, I'm too old for this, and it's
yeah,
like
pretty hot.
I went from having Deshaun Watson, Kyler Murray to now Will Levis throwing me the ball. This is not it at all.
He didn't have much of a better quarterback last year either. So free
He did
Hopkins,
not.
free Devontae Adams. I want Jordan Love back. Tua needs to retire. If we're gonna speedball this,
Oh, also, no, you don't even got a speedball. Let's talk about the whole Tua thing real quick. Let's talk about Tua real quick.
I don't know. Like, what do you think? If you're Tua, do you retire?
If I'm Tua, I'm sitting down with Tua and I'm saying to him like, dude, you've taken way too many hits. You're in probably your 6th year in the league. You've taken a lot of concussions.
A lot.
It comes a time where you have to look at yourself, and I know you love the game, but you have to look at your health, man. You see a lot of cases where people after they leave the NFL, where they have heavy effects of CTE, and it drives them to do things. It messes with their behaviors. Tons of stuff. You've seen a lot of cases with NFL players dying after they leave the league and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You got to protect this. You got to protect this. And it's not just for football, man, but you got to protect that for life, man, because you're not going to play football forever. You know what I mean? Like, like, there's going to be a time where you're going to be an at-home dad, man. You're going to have kids. And you're not going to be wanting to be in a situation where you can't do the simple stuff because you're out here still playing the game.
Listen, so like I don't know Tua obviously, but I want to put this in perspective as much as I possibly can. Like, you're growing up on an island with your family. You've been working all your life nonstop for this moment. You want to get you want to move your family out. You want to, provide for everyone. Everybody's cheering on you. Everyone in your circle knows who you are. Everybody back home knows who you are. They watch your games every Sunday. You've been working for this and you've been dreaming this all your life. And you're actually one of the best in the league at what you do.
Right.
However, you've made your money. Tua's made his money. He doesn't need to play anymore. But he's hungry. Like, as an athlete, it's hard to step away in your prime. It's hard. Especially over something that won't affect you until you get older. You're not going to realize the detrimental effects of those concussions until you get older and you stop acting like you see it all the time in the UFC and boxing when those head hits, they don't affect you typically until years after your prime. So Tua right now he'll probably be like, I'm cool, but if I'm Mike McDaniels, obviously I'm telling them like, listen, like we can't re-sign you, like we have to cut you off. But they're not gonna do that. They're not gonna do that though.
Look, at this point, man, he's already come back from like 2 or 3. If you remember, I'm pretty sure this happened 2 years ago. He had the hit where he was like, his fingers are like crossed and everything like that. And then even with the hit, it was last week, correct? It was last week, right? Or was it the week before last?
I think it might have been the week before. It was the week before because last week they just they had a
because I remember we did that because we did that episode on Monday. But with Tua, it's like the hit that he most recently took. He was gone. He was out of it. There's been cases where he's gotten hit. There's been cases where he's gotten hit and he's had trouble standing up. Dude, you got to talk to it. Obviously a doctor needs to tell him like, yo, he cannot come back on the field. If he takes one more hit, that could do something to him. And the fact that he's still able to operate and move at a level that he's moving, especially with all the hits he's been taking, like, you gotta. It's not a good look, man. And quite frankly, needs to for his health, and for just his safety, man.
Not even athletes. Human beings, they don't get diagnosed with CTE until their autopsy. So like he'll show signs of it, but you won't know until you're dead. So like when he retires, he could be a danger to himself, his family. Let's say he starts a family. I don't know if he has kids or a wife or whatever, but he's a danger to them. If he gets behind the wheel, he's a danger. Like, it affects your brain. I'm not extremely educated on CTE, but I know it does. It's not great for your obviously it's not good for your brain. So
Yes,
it
sir.
can change. It changes your life.
And you look at like just football players who have just passed away from just instances of just anything really. You look at NFL players who passed away. They've had cases in which they've suffered like severe levels of CTE, man. I don't
Look
know
at Mike
if you
Webster.
remember. You said what?
I said if you look at Mike Webster, my senior paper was on Mike Webster. Like
Yeah, Mike
back
Mike Webster. You remember Vincent Jackson? Vincent Jackson
the
from childhood.
receiver
He was like a receiver.
for the Chargers.
Yeah.
What happened to him? He passed.
He he passed away like a minute ago actually. Yeah.
Man, what about
Um Junior Seau, stuff like that. So
another Charger? Wow.
yeah, Junior Seau. You look at other you just look at cases of that, man. People with CTE and stuff like that. It's just it's dangerous, man. And what you don't want to have happen to you is that, like you said, you don't want to be a, I don't even know, man. You just don't want to be just a danger to anybody or to yourself. So,
I
like I
mean,
said, man, for Tua's best interest, he needs to hang it up, man. It sucks, I know, but I'll much
it's gonna
rather.
be a what if.
It's gonna be bad, I know, but I'm pretty sure looking back on this decision years from now, you're gonna be a lot happier that you stepped away from the game with your head and your just your body still healthy and intact. Then you step and still continue to play, and then when you leave, when you retire, when you suddenly retire years and years later, you're in a worse spot.
Yeah,
So
it's hard to tell a Tua
obviously, I
athlete
know
though.
he's not listening to the podcast or anything.
Listen, Tua,
Yeah,
if you're
and
listening
I
right
get
now,
it, I
man,
get
if
it,
you're
but
listening to
it's
the
like
podcast, please hang up the jersey, retire, prioritize your health, your family's health, and like don't be
'cause-
Antonio Brown. Do not be Antonio Brown. I'm sorry.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
No,
But I
it's
mean, come
cool.
on.
It's cool.
He even said himself.
But look though, look. I mean, CTE, like you said, it affects behaviors and stuff like that too. So it's like, that's not even a crazy thing to say. But also too, but just the way you frame it up too. It's like you look at it in basketball sense, right? You look at all these players who suffer from like major injuries and stuff like that, who's had to cut their careers short because they couldn't stay healthy. I'm pretty sure it sucked for them at the moment, but I mean, it's what it is, man. It's life goes on. So yeah, I just hope that he keeps himself safe, man. Because if he has another injury like that, that's gonna be really scary, man. And
Oh
you
yeah,
don't want
another
that.
one. Like, come on, man. 5. He's at 4 right now.
He's at 4.
If- He's at 4,
Like,
and 3 of them he got knocked out in.
and the one that he didn't get knocked out in, he had trouble standing up. That's not a good look, man.
One of them was against Green Bay. He played another half of football.
And then also too,
While he was concussed, if you remember that.
you saw the thing about the Guardian caps too, right? With like the people wearing like the Guardian caps on their helmets, like to help them more when it comes to like you see like the little, you seen that?
Like the little spongy looking things.
Yeah, the little
That's what
spongy
they wear at
looking
practice.
thing.
Yeah.
No, they wear those
That's
in
what
the
they were.
games now. They wear those in the games now. But like
Oh really?
they need to like implement those more in the league and stuff too. I know it may not look fashionably cool and stuff like that, but they need to implement those more in the league for the players
I'm
and stuff
worried.
like
I'm
that.
worried, man. Like he's been knocked unconscious too much. Like I don't know if you know what the fencing response is, but when you said like his hands were like this when he got hit, like that's a fencing response. That's a sign of severe brain trauma. So he's had that happen twice now. And as you saw, like when he had trouble standing up, that's the third concussion. Then, well, not in order, but another concussion he had early in the game, and he played the rest of the game concussed until he got benched, and then they saw he had signs of a concussion. He
Right.
threw 4 picks that game. They benched him. Then they realized, wait, this dude's he's not right. So that's gonna affect you mentally. I'm sorry. Like A concussion is when your brain, because your brain moves around in your skull. Listen, I'm an anatomy major. Listen, I'm sorry. I have to. Your
It's
brain is
good. Go ahead.
always
Go ahead. Go ahead.
skull. A concussion is when your brain slams against your meninges, your cerebral spinal fluid, and it slams into your skull, and like it throws off. Like you can get a seizure. Like it's just a concussion is not healthy. Like you're throwing up. You can't look at light. Like people don't understand when these athletes are injured, they're going through the symptoms of the injury. It's not just they sit out for 4 weeks. No, they're hurt.
No.
It affects them mentally, physically. Like these athletes are injured. So
And I feel like if pretty sure you've had a concussion before. I've gotten a concussion before. So it's not fun. It's not fun. It's not fun, but it's also like you can't do the simple stuff that you're used to doing. Like if I had a concussion right now, I couldn't have this giant light on. I couldn't, I can't hear things. Volume can't be too loud. Like I'm, it's not, I can't do the simple things I can. So I can only imagine what getting a concussion like is when you're playing a sport where you're wearing helmets, where you're hitting each other on like hard impact. Like that's gotta be 10 times, 20 times worse.
it's traumatic, bro. But people don't understand that because they don't see the recovery process. Like,
And it's like, they'll be like, oh, they're in protocol, they'll be back this week. And it's like, I just feel like the NFL needs to do a better job with safeguarding and stuff too. That's what I was saying with the Guardian caps and stuff like that. Like it's really important that
it's bad
they
for
need.
their brand, so they're not gonna do it because they're still turf fields. You know what I mean? So if they're still using turf fields, which the players say they don't like, they're not gonna prioritize. Like, it hurts. It hurts though. I'm not gonna lie. It sucks to see like these human beings. They're killing themselves, bro. Like Tua's killing himself right now if he keeps doing this. He's not. They're not gonna let him go safely just because he got hurt 4 times. They're gonna keep smashing him, bro.
Yeah.
They're gonna keep doing what they're doing.
And it's like all it's gonna take, like you said, all it's gonna take is one more hit where he's running or he's trying to slide and somebody, he's sliding, he gets hit, or he just gets, popped one more time.
It's so selfish to keep him. Like if you're a Dolphins like headquarters or a head coach or anybody, it's so selfish to keep him in. It's so selfish to keep him. It's like he's a human being. Like he can't make these decisions for himself because he's hungry. He's been doing this his whole life. He
Also too, like I want to like know from like Dolphins fans like how you guys feel about this.
Yeah,
obviously, I know you guys want to see success with your team, but it's like I know at the same time y'all want to make sure that Tua is safe. But so I would definitely want to hear from like Dolphins fans about how they're feeling about this whole Tua thing. But like we said, I was gonna just wrap up the Tua thing because I was gonna talk about Colorado real quick before we left. Okay. If you saw the game, you saw the game.
I saw.
All right, cool. But so Tua, hopefully the advisors to him, his agents, his family is sitting him down, trying to help him make a good decision. Obviously, it's your life, man. So you do whatever you want to do, but hopefully, whatever decision you choose to make is one in which you're good with, you're content with, and hopefully just has a better outlook on your life afterwards. So
health over wealth, or
health over wealth. I mean, you're still going to get paid like a lot of money by not paying. They still got to pay you. So it's not like you're on a rookie contract and you're a third string. You are a franchise quarterback.
Pull the Luol Deng and just retire and have a few millions.
Just do a Bobby Bonilla thing, man. The Mets are still paying him. He stopped playing for 25 years.
What?
So it's a whole thing for baseball. It's like a Bobby Bonilla Day thing. It's either he got traded or something. I forgot the whole premise of it, but the Mets still had to pay him long after he left the team.
Yeah, do that. Do whatever he did. Do that.
Yeah, do that.
But not Colorado.
Yeah, but before we go, obviously, we want to talk about the Colorado game real quick. Colorado, they went to overtime against Baylor. Shedeur Sanders, absolute incredible game. Travis Hunter made a lot of key.
Marys in a row, Denari.
Yes, and the first one they dropped. The first one, which was the one that should have been a touchdown, the dude Shepard dropped. But then the second one, Wester was able to get it. Tied the game.
To throw a perfect pass in a Hail Mary one time, and the guy drops it. Do you know what that does to someone's confidence? How old is he? How old is Shedeur Sanders?
He's a senior, so I'm
So
gonna go
21,
up and limit to like 21, 22 probably. 21, 22.
someone that young to have that confidence to say, okay, I threw a perfect ball and it got dropped, but I'm not gonna give up. I'm gonna go back here and I'm gonna do it one more time.
But also too, Baylor messed up because if you look at the Hail Mary that was like a completion, was a touchdown. Why in the world was it do 1-on-1 on the top side? You saw like if you see a video clip from it, the dude was 1-on-1 with him and he beat him to the end zone and he was able to get there. Like I looked at it, I'm thinking, oh, it was like a jump ball and he caught it. The dude was 1-on-1 with him the whole time. He was able to just easily get past him and score.
It never ever happens in Hail Marys. It's usually
Which you don't tend to do that with. I don't play football. I played football for 2 days, Jamal, and I quit. I thought I was gonna go in and be a receiver. They put me on the D line. I said,
What?
nah. Yeah. Nah.
Okay.
You got Jamal. At my point in time when I was little, you gotta understand though. They didn't see me as a receiver. They saw me as a D line dude. I ain't see myself as that.
That's too much. That's too many hits. I'm quitting too.
No, first I think it was one of the first couple of scrimmages, bro. I was lined up. Dude pancaked me, bro. I was like, yeah.
Oh no!
I was like,
No!
bro. I was like,
Yo,
what do I have left to give?
We need footage of that. We need footage of that.
Next day, Jamal, I showed up to practice, bro. It's like, you ready to go? It's like, I'm ready to give you this. Thank you. I'm done. Yeah.
Hey, listen, man. It's not for everybody. I respect.
It's not.
Man. I respect.
It's not. I'm cool. I'm great. I'm happy I stepped away. But back to the game though. But yeah, so Travis Hunter too. Definitely put up a huge campaign for him to win Heisman this year. Honestly, me and my friends were talking about this the other day, but I feel like any team that drafts Travis Hunter will have a great time with him. I just don't know whether or not he's going to be able to play. Is he going to be able to play? You think he's going to be able to play receiver and safety, or are they going to have him stick to one position?
That's too much damage, bro.
That's too much?
I don't want to ever tell someone they can't do something, but like if you're thinking about how much taxing that is on the body, because he's not just going to be playing in that position both times. He's going to be practicing in that position. It's not like you don't just get to slide in for them and then go to receiver. You have to learn the playbook. You're going to have to learn the plays. You have to learn. Then you have to learn the routes. Like it's a lot. If he can do that, like you said, he's fun. He's going to be fun. Like
Right.
that dude in Baltimore, Hamilton. He's going to be fun.
Yeah.
So he's going to be a dog, but
He's going to be nice, but like I said, Travis Hunter can't play both positions. He can. Like,
He'd be
look,
a fucking-
obviously you have.
Good.
Obviously, there's a lot of players who, you look in the past like Jabril Peppers. If you remember Jabril Peppers at Michigan, they did have Jabril Peppers playing safety, but he also was playing offense as well.
He's going to have fun.
You look at baseball, Shohei Ohtani. Shout out to Shohei. 50-50
yeah.
season. Yeah, MVP for sure.
Cool. Like,
Yeah.
we would be here in like the 90s, the 80s. We'd be here saying Bo Jackson couldn't play multiple sports.
Bo Jackson, but yeah, Bo Jackson, multiple sports.
I'm not going to be close-minded about it, but if he can handle that amount of, I think for 1 year he probably could. But I don't want him to. It's going to be a lot of damage. You know what I mean?
Like I said, it strongly depends on what team he is on. If you're on a good team, they may not need you to do both.
Yeah, they won't need.
If you're on a team like the Panthers, they're gonna be like, yeah, we're gonna need you to do both.
Hey, play quarterback too. Can you throw?
Yeah, might as well. At this point, you might as well throw your hat in the quarterback.
I'm thinking about it. Like George Kittle, he plays tight end and he's O-line. Like
I just realized if the Panthers low key get the number 1 draft pick and they get Travis Hunter and they have Bryce Young back in the offense, they could do something.
They need either a young receiver. I'm drafting O-line though. But yeah, I mean,
honestly, I'm trading for that. I'm trading for an O-line.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I would trade down and get an O-lineman. But yeah, I would love to see it. If he can pull it off, that'd be amazing. It'd be legendary. Like we'd be here, like I said, we'd be here in the 80s saying Bo Jackson couldn't do it. We'd be saying, the guy, I don't know how to pronounce his name, but the 50-50 season.
Oh, Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah, we'd be saying he couldn't do it. Pitchers aren't hitters, you know what I mean? So I'm never gonna shut out. I'm looking forward to see like his decision.
Where do you think Shedeur is gonna go in the draft? Obviously, Shedeur is gonna be like a first round pick. What do you think?
He's applying this year, right?
Yeah, this is senior year. I'm pretty sure.
All right, let's think about all the terrible teams with no quarterback. I'm trying to see realistically where he.
Honestly, I feel like he's gonna go to Las Vegas.
Ooh, he goes top 10 for sure, right?
Yeah, I think Shedeur is gonna go top 10. Shedeur is one of the best quarterbacks in college football. And one season in Colorado,
amazing
he,
game.
he broke the passing record in a single game for yards.
How many yards did he have?
It was the first game against TCU last year. He had like 500 yards passing.
Excuse me?
Yes,
Oh my goodness. Yeah, no.
he was hooping.
I'm looking forward. I love these young prospects. I love young prospects, bro. Like, so I hope, obviously, I'm really interested in Travis Hunter, though. Because what do you think he's better at?
Dude, that's the thing. He's good at both.
He's good at both. He's that good at both.
Literally, there was clips of him in practice where the cornerbacks that were like their natural position was cornerback. They were doing some drills and they were messing up. Travis Hunter came into the drill. Not only did it flawlessly, went on the receiver side and then cooked the quarterbacks. Like that's the thing. Like Travis Hunter is literally a one of a kind player.
Yeah, he's
I remember Travis Hunter when Travis Hunter was at because he went to Jackson State. Remember, he was there with Shedeur at Jackson State, I believe. And he came to
Ooh.
I'm pretty sure he came to Colorado, actually. Hold on, let me see.
Hey, it could be like a Jamar
No,
Chase. Joe
Travis
Burrow
Hunter was at Jackson State. Travis Hunter was at Jackson State with Shedeur and Dion. So people already knew about Travis Hunter. And mind you, he was like one of the best receivers and stuff in his group. Like Alabama was looking at him, Georgia was looking at him, and he chose to go with Dion in them. So
Hey,
Dion already knew he was nice. Travis Hunter is, like I said, one of the best players in college football for sure.
man.
So,
That's. I think he could do both. I think he could do it. You know what?
dude, even in the video game, like they gave him like a 90, 95, 96 overall. They have him playing both positions in the game.
Ooh.
And he has X factors in both.
X factors and
Yes, bro.
no. I'm not saying this because of college football, but the fact that he's the best, I think he could do it. I think he could do it. I think he can do it. I don't know how consistent he'll be, but he's going to be a great player to have. Let's say your safety goes down, you put him in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a
All right.
next stand-up league, so.
So also too. All right. So then my follow-up question, it's a two-parter. Number one, what do you think of Colorado's outlook for the rest of the year? They're heading into week 4 with a 2-1 record. Only loss at this point being against Nebraska, where they got thrown out, they got blown out, whatever. So they're heading in with a 2-1 record. Obviously, last year they finished 4-8.
Okay.
Do you have them winning more than 4 games this year? And if they do you think they're making the college football playoff?
Depends what their division's looking like. I don't see why they wouldn't get better this year.
Let me tell you the rest of the teams that they play. I'll just pull that up.
Shadir's only going to get better. He's already broken the record. I think he could go out there and win 6.
Wow. Let me tell you the rest of the teams they play, though. Let me tell you the rest of the teams
That
they
might be
play,
a
though.
horrible take. I hope that doesn't age horrible.
Yeah. Let me tell you the rest of the teams they play, though.
Oh no, I'm look like
They got next week they got UCF. They got number 23 ranked Kansas State the following week. Arizona, Cincinnati, Colorado. I'm tripping.
Say, what?
Arizona, Cincinnati, Texas Tech, number 10 ranked Utah, Kansas, and then Oklahoma State at home.
You don't think they can win 6?
They're 2-1 now. I think they could. They could make a bowl game this year. I think they could. College football playoff? I don't know. I want them to surprise me and make the college football playoff. I want them to. I don't know if they can though. In their second year.
Let's keep watching them. Let's stay updated on them. We'll see.
Because they're saying too. Because then also too, the whole thing was after Shedeur and Travis Hunter leave this year, is Dion leaving as well?
Dion's leaving. He's going with his son.
That's what I was saying too. I was like, Dion said he's going to stay, but it's like I don't think he's staying in Colorado. I felt like this is like a 2-year thing.
Yeah,
If he does stay, that's good for them, but I don't know if it's in his best interest too. So we'll see. We'll see on Colorado. But with that being said, man, this has been a really good long episode, man. This has been a real good episode. We talked about everything from the Eagles, to Tua and everything, So obviously, the Eagles correspondent here, Jamal, man, you're gonna catch him, every beginning of every week. We're gonna get back to doing like another, full on, episode. We're not talking about sports because we still got to talk about the debate for real. Because you watch the debate?
No, I'm not watching that, bro. I'm not watching. I'm
I
sorry.
got you. But but you still gotta do that. But as always, Jamal, thank you for stopping by, giving us a little wrap up on the week, man. Any final words you want to say before we close out, man?
Listen, follow the One YB Podcast, Apple Music, Spotify, TikTok, Instagram. YB Pod on Instagram, YB Pod TikTok. Follow.
That's right, man. Yeah, follow us too. Follow us. We want to get a lot more stuff. More stuff on the works. More collabs in the works, man. We got a lot more stuff planned.
One more thing, Denari, bro. Denari is the future of these podcasts. If you know what this upcoming schedule, what he has for you guys, you're gonna see his face everywhere. Lock in. What are y'all doing? Follow. This is the beginning of an empire. Like, what are you doing? This dude has interviews. He's got features. He's getting featured on other people's work now. It's no more featuring. It's featuring Denari now. What are we talking about? This is the future. Look at his face. Look at his face. He's the future of these podcasts. Follow him now. So you were here first. It's almost midnight.
Look,
I'm loud in my unfinished basement. I have a horrible setup. Look at my setup. Look, I'm in a bando. Right now at midnight. I'm loud as hell. Follow my man Denari on everything. Or you don't want to see me on campus, bro. You don't. I'll be mad as hell.
Look. One thing I have prided myself on saying about this podcast, man. One thing I have prided myself on saying was that since we started this back in, freshman year, I said that the whole goal of this podcast is continue to grow, continue to see things happen. A lot of things I've been fortunate enough to be a part of. I was able to, be on other shows and stuff like that, have a lot of fun. But when I tell you guys that, we got some stuff in the works, man, we got some stuff in the works. It's still a lot more collabs on the way, man. It's a lot more segments like this, man. I was talking to my mans the other day, one of my old guests on the show, Man's Awesome Wayne. He was talking about, a little segment for him. So if you want to know about news and stuff, instead of, me just coming on talking all the time, we're gonna bring some more people on to do that for me. So, it's gonna be a lot more cool stuff on the way, man. But the only way for y'all to know what's going on is if y'all tap in. Go follow the TikTok page, man. Because, please, go follow the TikTok page, man. Go follow the IG. Go follow us, our personal socials, man. Just tap into the podcast, man, for real. Because I said it before and I'll say it again. We're only going up from here. We've been doing this thing. We've been steady with it. We're in September. We've already done more episodes in this month alone.
It's over, bro. Bro, y'all really listen to the Talk to a podcast, but not the Nari? What are you doing? The consistency is disgusting. He dropped 2 for y'all last week. And now it's Monday and we're already back at it. We have exams this week. Denari has an exam on Wednesday. It's midnight on Monday. He's got no studying done. He's locked in.
It's open note. It's open note.
He's being humble. He wants to say it's open note. He could have just said it. He could have embraced this.
But like Jamal said, but I'm saying it in a more calmer tone though. Like tap in. Like please. Tap in, show love. Hit us up, ask us what you want to see on there. Access who you want to come by and check out the podcast, who you want to come by and be on the podcast. We trying to space this thing out and get more people to be on it. Obviously, you see that I'm a man of my word when it comes to this with the whole bet and everything. So when I tell you that something is going to happen, it's going to happen. So, as always, guys, thank y'all for tuning in. Jamal, thank you for, gassing me up a little bit right there. I appreciate it. The voice is crazy, but appreciate you for gassing me up, though. Appreciate you guys for continuing to show love to the podcast, supporting us, helping us grow. New episode coming out. If I feel like it, honestly, look, the way my schedule is, if I feel like dropping another episode this week, we'll see. We'll see what Thursday or Friday is looking like. We may. But if not, we'll just catch you guys next Monday for a little, wrap up. We may just do something then. But thank you guys for tuning in. Love and appreciate you guys, and we'll catch you on the next one. Peace. Also, before we go, this episode was presented by Solitary Faith. Solitary Faith Clothing. With faith comes solitude. Y'all go check out the clothing pieces. Y'all go check out the brand. The IG will be in the description for this episode. Thank you. Peace.